All right, guys, we are back to school and back in the swing of things. This is due Tuesday. It is a preview for the lesson, so please make sure you are watching this before Tuesday. So, solving linear inequalities is just like solving linear equations. So we need to think back all the way to Unit 1. And how would I solve this question on the left? All right, if you remember, we like to keep our variables over here. So I want my x's on this side, and I want my numbers and everything else on my right. Okay, so I look on this side and I say, oh, what doesn't belong? The 5 doesn't belong, so I use my inverse operation to get it over to the other side. Cancels. This brings down. 13 take away 5 is 8. And I bring down my plus x. I'm going to put 1x just to help me out there. All right, and again, I want variables on the left, so I see on my right side, I have a variable. So I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to do my inverse. It was a plus. Now it's a minus. Cancels. I bring down. -3 take away -1 is -4x. All right, now I have variables on the left, numbers on the right, but it's not isolated. So now I use my onion method. How am I going to get it by itself? I need to get rid of that -4. How do I get rid of that -4? I divide. All right, so I get x equals -2. Now what we're going to do is just like that, except there's 2 golden rules. And let's put big stars here. All right, here's going to be our golden rule. Whenever you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, you must change the inequality symbol. So for example, if it was this, less than, I'm going to change it to greater than and vice versa. If it's less than or equal to, it's going to change to greater than or equal to. So we're kind of flipping it. All right. The second rule is keep in mind that we always read from left to right. So we always want our answer to be in the order of variable symbol number. So what I mean by that is I want my answer to be x is less than -2 or x is greater than -2. I just want my variable to be on the left. I don't want something that looks like this. All right, so it won't be wrong if it's written that way, but we want to just keep that in mind that it's easier if I keep my variables on the left. Okay, so those are my 2 rules. So I'm going to take a look at this example. If you notice, it's exactly the same as the example above. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see the work that we did. All right, so my first step that we did was subtract 5 on both sides. That's still the same. I bring this down. Then the next thing we did was subtract 1x. Again, that's still the same. All right, now my last step was to divide by -4. Now hold on. Ding, ding, ding. Our golden rule says when I multiply or divide by a negative number, which I'm doing here, I'm dividing by a negative, my inequality symbol is going to change. So my answer is still going to be -2. But what's going to be different is that this was a less than or equal to, and now it's going to be greater than or equal to. That is the only difference between solving inequalities in comparison to solving equations. What we learned yesterday, we need to put this on a graph. All right, so when do we use an open circle? When I have a less than or greater than, and I use closed when I have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. So in this case, I'm going to have closed because it is this symbol. So I'm going to put some numbers in. I'm just going to skip. You don't have to skip. I just didn't want to cram it. So this is going to be a closed circle, and it is a greater than symbol, and greater numbers are to the right. Okay, so it doesn't say this, but let's name it anyway. What would a number in the solution be? Okay, so let's pick a number in the solution. Remember, solution means in the shaded area. So for example, I might pick 0. Maybe you picked -1. Maybe you picked 1. All right, remember, solution means in the shaded region. All right, that's it. See you tomorrow.